Mimi, because of what I was going through with my husband, you expect someone you have been with, someone you have supported so much, when you have hustled with, when he get a job, you expect life to change, but nothing changed. It changed for my children, yes, and I cannot complain, but I was that lonely girl. I got depression, acute depression, very bad depression. Nilikuwa natoka South Sea, naenda Bellevue. One day I went to Bellevue. I wanted to jump over the bridge. Unajua love inakufanyanga unakuwa blind.
Kabisa.
Nikaanza kuona 1+1. And then when my job became bad, he started being violent. That is now when I lost my marriage. And it was not a good show. It was very painful for me and for my children because we had to jump over a wall for safety. Yeah. This one is about between 25,000 to 32,000.
It happened in 25,000?
Yes.
Wow. And it's likely to give me how much in return?
It is likely to give you, like this one, it has so many pieces. It has about 500 to 600 pieces. It's likely to give you about, when you are good in selling, unaweza pata 80% profit. Depending on how aggressive you are and your target market. People should know their target market. You don't just buy a bale.
And welcome to Inspire Kenya. Now I'm coming to you straight from BMB, yani Best Mitumba Bales. Ukiangalia hii shop, you wouldn't say that the owner, who also owns 2 other shops in Gikomba, has hawked tea and Mandazi in Githurai. Guys, I'm telling you, her story is about to inspire you. She has fought so many things, including depression, and she's giving hope to thousands of young girls and women and challenging them and telling them you can do anything you put your mind into. Sasa mnaona aje hii show? Mimi naona ni kama nimeland bedsheet, nimesikia ni ati ni pesa ngapi? 1600. Alafu nawapeleka mpaka Gikomba. But before that, how about we get to listen to her story? Aya, nimemaliza mimi.
Sasa uko poa? Mko poa? Now, my name is Jane. Jane Wamuyu Kangethe. I'm 37 years old and I'm a mother of 3. I'm a single mom, and a businesswoman, and I love God very much.
Amen.
He is the one who inspires me in everything that I do. Now, Lynn, I was born in a very small village called Wamuyu. Wamuyu is in Nakuru County, I think in Naivasha Division. I was born in a family of 5. My 3 brothers and a sister. Our sister is the eldest. My eldest brother and my sister became my mother and my father when I was of age 12. Because I lost my father. I think I lost him when I can't relate when, but when I was becoming of age and understanding, I didn't find him. So I lost my mom along the way at the age of 12. And now life became so hard for me. My mom was very hardworking. She was a business lady like me. So after losing her, life became so hard because the only person I was supposed to live with is my brother and my sister. My sister was married then and she was living in Githurai. So between my brother and sister, they had to agree between both of them where I'm going to live. So we had a younger brother, my sister took him in, and he was transferred to that school. Me, I was left with my brother. My brother had a wife who left, but he remarried again. So it was not easy for me. Being a girl, at age 12 is when you start experiencing so many changes in your body. You hear you have your brother, you don't know even what to tell him. Unajua zile story, we want pads, you don't know who to even to tell him. So there are many days I went even without pads. I survived. There are many days that I don't even know how I survived. And I thank God, because after all that, it taught me how to depend on myself. Because kuna wale wametoka place iko na mashamba, wanajua kitu inaitwa mafuti. Mafuti is when unaenda, you are employed by someone, it's casual labor. Unalima a portion of somewhere umepimiwa, then you are paid. At that age, I was able to do that, and that's how I survived. But I am not complaining about my brothers and sisters. They did what they could. They did their best. Yeah, they did their best. Having that they were young as well, not very old, and they were youngly married, and they were also trying in life. So what they gave us is what they could afford. I went through school. I did not do so well, but I performed. Okay. And then now the kizungumkuti ilikuwa nitaenda college wapi. I went to live with my sisters nikigojea niende college. When I went to my sister, they got me a college in Thika. Unfortunately, because they didn't know how I'm going to live, and they could not afford paying a hostel for me. My mom had a small plot somewhere in Thika, in Pilot. It's called Pilot. Haikuwa imetengenezwa vizuri, but alikuwa na mwenye alikuwa anamanagea for so many years. Now my brother, the only way he could have won my heart to go live there, he told me that this woman is my aunt. Ule mwenye sasa alikuwa kama caretaker. So me, I went to live there. This woman had a very big son. So walikuwa kwa ploti za Thika, those who knows Thika, kulikuwa kuna tengenezwa extension kama ya kiosk. So this woman, I'm not going to name her, alikuwa amealawiwa na my late mom atengeneze extension ya kiosk, which alitengeneza kama nyumba. So she could part of it was the shop, and part of it is where she used to sleep with. It was her bedroom with the husband. Then she was given one room kwa sasa ploti yenye the son was living, and where they used to cook from. When my brother told me I have to live with them, I used to live in the same room with the son. He used to sleep up, nalala chini. Obviously, people know what I went through a lot, which I'm not going to mention on camera, but I went through so much pain that, Lynn, I cannot talk about it. I lived impressing them for me to get food, for me to eat, for me to do anything. But remember, when I look at my brother, he told me that this is my aunt. He wanted me to go through school, through college. So I could not tell anyone. That is where now my depression came in. Because I was not able to talk about it. Naamka asubuhi, I used to wake up at 4. Thika, kuna, I think I only saw that in Thika. Kuna ile maziwa inachemshwa nyingi. Then wanauza na, that time kulikuwa na zile karatasi za kupima maziwa. I used to wake up na okotelea mbao uko kwa estate. Nachemsha hiyo maziwa before I go to school. And now, because there was no lunch, ile pesa bradhangu amenipatia afya, I used to walk from Pilot to Thika. I was in a college in Thika Arcade. So I went through the college, and I thank God I finished well. When I finished, I got an attachment with a Shyrock. That is so funny. Attachment na Shyrock? Yes. Sasa kupata attachment na Shyrock, wakanituma Embu branch. Mimi je ndio huyo, nikaenda Embu. Kwenda Embu, nakwambia Shyrock, you see all manner of things. there's a subscription fee you pay before you get the form and the like. So kuna mtu mmoja alikuja akajaza. Then there is that period of time that you're supposed to wait until you like 14 days ndio upewe pesa yako. So within those 14 days, Shyrock operates in a way that you wait for people to pay deposit. That deposit is the one that you give people. It's like revolving funds. Within those 14 days, this man never got his money. He came into the office. I was the secretary. I was the receptionist. Akafanya panga hivi. Akauliza pesa yake. Now that is how I lost the internship. Me, I could not wait because I saw we ataniwa. I left. I did not even carry anything. I remember I was living in a single room. I only had a bed. My brother bought me a mattress, not even a bed, a mattress. Ile kanaitwaje stove. Na tu sufuria, and that's how I think I was paying 500 a room. So me nikapotea. I did not even carry those things. Kupotea, the only place I would have gone, it's my sister's place. She welcomed me. Then she had a small hotel in Githurai roundabout. Kitambo Githurai roundabout ilikuwa imejaa vitanda nini. So alikuwa na hoteli ambayo alikuwa anaweza kuuzia watu lunch na breakfast. So what I did, she when I went to her akaniambia instead ya kukaa home, kuja. That was my first business. Kuja, ukichukua thermos ya chai, unazungusha na akina mwende na akina akinyi. Unakuja jioni, ulikuwa unalipangwa na commission. Well, Lynn, the worst thing is that I did that job faithfully. But I could not remember, ukienda hivi, ukirudi hivi umeachia nani chai na chapo. And you see now, unaenda jioni, ukienda na thermos, unaenda ukiacha, hawakulipangi. Unalipwa jioni. Sasa mimi, nikadem kanaive, karembo, kamekuja kuuza chai kwa watu wa kutengeneza vitanda. Nikienda hivi, Otieno amepotea. Nikirudi hivi, hakuna mtu ninajua. Sasa jioni, job ni job. She is my sister, yes, but it is her business. And I have to do what I'm supposed to do. Jioni tukihesabu vikombe hakuna. Sijaokota pesa yote. I felt so bad. I felt so bad. So bad. I felt so desperate. Remember nimezoea kutafuta. Nimezoea hapo Githurai. Nikaona hapana. Niko na certificate zangu. Sitakaa home. There is a friend of mine, her name is Eunice. Tulikuwa tumetoka naye Ushago. Kamuliza Eunice na uko wapi? Kaniambia anakaa Kariobangi light industry. Nikaomba brother ruhusa, nikamwambia can I go and live with Eunice. That is the time Nice and Lovely was starting. The company Nice and Lovely, mafuta ya kujipaka. Nikaenda tukapewa kazi ya sales. In that process, I got connection to someone who used to work in Ruiru in a towel industry. He was the engineer. So alikuwa anakuja kurepair hizi mafuta za machines za kutengeneza mafuta ya Nice and Lovely, na bado alikuwa anaenda kurepair hizo za Ruiru. Akaniambia I want to introduce you to my boss because nilimwambia Eunice told her natafuta kazi nini. When I went to Bongani, that is now when I can say I got my first permanent job as a secretary to the director of Bongani Industries. Nikakaa nikafanya kazi vizuri, then ikakuja ikakuwa ni kama imeenda, you remember Charter Bank?
Yes.
Sijui kulifanyikaje, kampuni ikaenda chini. But when I was in that company, that is then when I met my husband. He was the accountant there. So in the midst of that, I was naive. Nimetoka college, nimestabika, niko na shida. Actually, me, I can tell people, I got married to eliminate what I was going through. Yani like,
you got married to eliminate poverty.
Yani I have gone through so much. Sasa nimepata mtu anakaa ni accountant na hii kampuni ni kubwa. So I got married. My wedding was actually arranged in less than a month. I had nothing to do with the wedding arrangement and the like. Anyway, that is a story for another day. I got married. And he was then living in Donholm. So when we came to Donholm, remember we are working in the same company. So ni nani ata lose job?
Ni wewe.
I lost the job. I went back, I got pregnant. Nikifanya wedding, I was pregnant with my firstborn. So nikapata mtoto. Sina kazi. tunaishi nyumba ndogo Doni. I started now thinking, what am I going to do? I started hawking. During my wedding, kuna msichana alinitengeneza nywele. Anaitwa Betty. Betty had a salon in Moi Avenue. So I talked to Betty. Betty, mimi nataka pahali nitatokanga kwa nyumba na kuja. I started kutoka Doni naenda kwa Betty. Betty akanipea kazi ya kubomoa watu. Ukibomoa mtu alikuwa analipa 100 bob. Kubomolewa nywele unapewa 30 bob ama 20 bob. So I could bomoa watu wengi kabisa. Then when I was at Betty's, a girl came accuser. Actually, the reason why I dressed this because I was inspired by this belt. When I was at Betty's, a girl came akihawk belts. Nikamuliza na unatoanga wapi? Alikuwa anauza ututu belt. Kuna times zilikuwa fashionable
kabisa.
Alikuwa anauza a belt 100 bob. Nikamuliza unatoanga wapi? Akaniambia kuna mtu anazifunguanga bell bus station. Nikamwambia nipeleke. Kaniambia hapana, ukishuka tu utapata zikiuzwa 50. Nakumbuka nalipangwa 30 bob. So nilikuwa nimesave I think 200 bob. Nikaenda bus station. Now because that company that I was working, we were working even with my hubby and eventually it went down. So both of us were jobless. So nikaenda nikachukua belts za 200, those are 4 pieces. I started hawking in town. Nika hawk. Na hawk
hizo 4.
Na hawk nakimbilia. Mtu ananiambia niletee ya red, nakimbia nachukua ya red. Niletee ya trouser, nachukua, naleta ya trouser. Now I could hawk and still nasaidia Betty kubomoa na kuosha salon. Nikaendelea hivyo. Then the people I used to sell to in town are people with boutiques. They started trusting me. Ninaambia nipe kiatu moja tu. Napatiwa kiatu moja. Natoka Moi Avenue naenda Githurai na kiatu moja. Customer akilipa deposit. Namwambia nilipe deposit nikukimbilie hii kiatu, namwachia ile moja, naenda nalipa, nakuja nalipwa. I did that for a very long time. And me and my husband, my ex-husband now, I could even sell na ninamtumia fare. Namtafuta namlipia bus fare what. We survived. Then now, when I was still in Doni, I got my firstborn and my secondborn. That is Martha and Marine. Then I saw an advertisement. I applied for a job somewhere in industrial area. But remember hata nikiwa huko Doni nilikuwa na kuna trench coat tunaziitanga watu wenye wamefanya mtumbo wanajua kuna tu trench coat twa China. Hiyo bale inatokanga kitu between 5,000 to about 7,000. So nikanunua bale moja. I could now hawk even to friends. Nilienda nikigraduate. Then I met a friend of mine, her name is Eve. Akanianza kunipea handbags zake, tulikuwa tunapeleka State House. Nikaanza kuhawk kabisa. All this time, by the way, my husband didn't know that I was hawking. He knew I was employed in a salon. I survived. Then I applied for a job. I got a job in Road. And then he got some other jobs of accounts, and now we could somehow survive. When I got the job in Road A, sasa at least tuko na income yenye inaweza tu sustain. Tukahama Doni, tukakuja Buruburu. We came to a place called Harambe. When we were in Harambe, he was introduced to rabbit keeping. And also in Harambe, I got pregnant with my son. Sasa nimefanya job for a very long time in industrial area. Obviously, I'm so ambitious. I overtook the business. Nikaweka rabbits, almost 300 rabbits. I became famous. I became the chair lady of Women Rabbit Kenya. Nikaweka rabbits. Sasa rabbits zinakulanga hata kuliko watoto wako. Namwambia acha rabbits zibreed, wacha zikule. So we went down again.
Yes.
Nikaona rabbit hazitoshi, tukaenda kwa quails. So tuko na rabbit na quails. That is another scam. Saizi you are supposed to feed them. There is no market for them. So I started introducing people wananunua. Saizo shida ikakuwa nyingi, wacha sisi na watoto wangu tukule rabbits. They were young. So Brian eventually came. So they were young and they were thinking rabbit ni kuku. I could not, they didn't know. No laughing
Okay.
They didn't know hisi nyama ya kuku. Wakakula yani we survived on rabbits. The quails, Lynn, don't ask me what I did because I went somewhere in Kitengela. I opened the cage and I let them go. But now because they knew me and they knew I'm the one who is feeding them, they started following me.
Ulienda kuziset free zina. Hiyo ni tani.
Aziko zinajua kama zinafaa kwenda. Unajua quails zimeomoka na zile za they are so different za kichaka. So for them
ni funny. So ni hasira zilikuwa zimekushika unaenda kuziset free ama?
You are no, but they are feeding. You have nothing to feed them. And this the whole thing is a scam, and everyone started, even others started bigger than us. So you have no market for them.
Yes.
Uko na shida. Sasa utape rabbit ama utape quails chakula ama ni watoto. Watoto wamekula mayai ya quails, wamekula nini. Anyway, that ikaisha. So when we were in Harambee and we were pushed so much. Sasa tumekuwa desperate rabbits and what. I had a friend, her name is Judy. She's still my friend. I actually call her sister. I talked to her. She sells cars. I spoke to her and kamambia Judy. And then my husband, my ex-husband he had passion ya magari. So I told Judy akinitafutie kazi ya boni. Hata kama ni kuosha magari. Judy I remember I went for the interview first. I went and met the person who was supposed to employ my husband before we went there. My husband went the following day. So huku tuko quails zinatakanga stima ilikatwa. Rabbits zinatakanga zimekatwa. Ni hazi amepata job, hawezi piga mpaka nguo pasi. Nakumbuka tu nilizilalia tu. Alafu asubuhi zikaamka zikiwa sawa, akaenda. He got the job and he got a very good job. A job that he left with a company car and everything. It was a new Japanese company that was opening an office to start selling cars. So, si tukaomoka. Rabbit na quails zimeenda sasa tukaanza maisha ingine. Mi kumbuka bado sina job because ile ya road day after I got pregnant with Brian and gave birth, they could not take me back. Sasa tukahama tena from Harambee, we went to phase 1. Then tukakaka phase 1, we went to South Sea. Now South Sea, that is where my life started. Being so hard. I am jobless and my husband has a job. Remember I had an experience about town because nilikuwa naenda Moi Avenue kwa salon. When I was in South Sea, I got a job, another job, Gong Road. So we could leave in the morning with my husband. He eventually even got a car. We could live with him in the morning. I go to Gong Road there and naenda Lavington. Hiyo showroom ilikuwa Lavington. Mimi, because of what I was going through with my husband, you expect someone you have been with, someone you have supported so much. When you have hustled with, when he get a job, you expect life to change, but nothing changed. It changed for my children, yes, and I cannot complain, but I was that lonely girl. I got depression, acute depression, very bad depression. Nilikuwa natoka South Sea, naenda Bellevue. One day I went to Bellevue. I wanted to jump over the bridge. I don't know what happened because I think someone alinishika nyuma, and the next thing I was in Red Cross ambulance. Kapelekwa Avenue wao ndio wana deal mostly with psychological things. Kapelekwa Avenue. He had an insurance, so the insurance took care of it. And I started now the process of healing depression. This depression became so acute because all my life I have gone through so much. I've never been happy. Now I have come. The reason I got married to my husband, I saw a father figure, a mother figure in him. You know, I went looking for a solution more than a partnership and a relationship. So my depression did not stop. For 2 years, I was battling it. I have got, now when I have this small job that I got Gong Road, I have depression, there's no way I would have kept the job. Because nilikuwa tanakaa, nikiitwa nashtuka. Yani I was miserable. I could stay in my room, I don't shower, I don't eat. My husband will come home, he will not want to know kwa nini hujaoga, kwa nini hujakula. Nikaanza he used to love, I used to, even now, even if we talk, I can tell him he doesn't love cheap liquor. So he used to buy the brandies, and now he has a very nice job with Japanese and he's earning well. He used to buy those expensive whiskeys and the like. Kwa nazishika tu Lynn, na kunywa zote naanguka, natapika, nafanya nini, yani depression is bad. So somehow along the line he lost the job. We're in South Sea. We stayed, we struggled now to start paying. Remember, I'm here, I've lost my job in Gong Road because of depression. I've not recovered so well. He has lost the job. When I lost the job, because they actually sacked me. They told me, we can't keep you. They paid me 1 month notice, and they actually empowered me. So when I was living there, I got 50,000. That 50,000 sikuguza, sikufanya anything. Then my brothers at home, kuna shamba ambayo ilipita barabara. So they were paid some amount, and my brother sent me 50,000. We love each other as siblings. Wow. So wakagawana, wakaona sisi wasichana tukapewa 50,000. So I have 100,000. These 100,000, I went to Moi Avenue, just next to Sanford. I started a small boutique. This small boutique nilikuwa nakimbia isili nauza. Remember, now my husband doesn't have a job. Nimefungua boutique. That is now what we started surviving on. I did that boutique. I did that shop. I even have a page called Buruburu. I think I need to close it. I did the shop so well, I could pay rent, but now I could not afford South Sea. We moved back to Buruburu, phase 3. But now, because my husband was somewhere, he was selling cars, he could, I think, anapiga deal hapa na pale, na ana make. Nikiwa Moi Avenue, kuna msichana, family friend tulikuwa tumesimamia harusi. Her name is Mary. That one I will mention her name because I owe her a lot. She helped me. Akakuja akaniambia, na je natakanga kwenda Gikomba. Nikamwambia, by the way, mimi passion yangu, one day I will go to Gikomba. Akaniambia niko na capital. Alikuwa amepata mtoto na alikuwa hiyo maternity leave. They have a business in CBD. Akaniambia, ningetaka sana kwenda Gikomba. Nikamwambia, Mary, si uniandike. Akaniambia sawa, wacha tutafute nikafunga duka yangu ya Moi Avenue, tukaenda tukatafuta Gikomba. Then family friends wa my husband wengi wote wako Gikomba. So nilikuwa naenda kwa duka zao because I know them personally, though we have never talked about me going to Gikomba. So wao ndio walitusaidia zile mizigo tutabai na ile store tutaanza nayo. So Mary started. She started with mizigo kidogo, then she got someone. Akamwambia atampeleka kwa supplier. She bought mizigo nyingi, which she was overcharged. So mimi nimeachwa na Mary kwa store sasa, kama nimeandikwa Gikomba huko chini kwa matope. So si mambo ya Moi Avenue imeisha hivyo, because sasa Gikomba, anyway, you cannot compare it with Moi Avenue. Gikomba, we call it capital intense. You use a lot of money to make very small profit. So ukiuza sana in a day, you can find that uko na 300,000. Your profit is kidogo, but hii pesa uko nayo cash. They believe in cash. So nikafanyia Mary job, ikabidi nifungue account ya kufanya hizi transactions because Mary had a small baby and she could not come. Nikafungua na Stanbic Bank. Tukafanya kazi na Mary. And then at some point I saw a post on Kilimani Moms. You remember the famous Kilimani, the big Kilimani Moms?
Yes.
That is now when I said I'm employed in Gikomba, I do bales, but out of the bales, I have gained a lot of experience. Please engage. I will answer what you want. Wow. That is now where ilitrend. Ikatrend. I could answer. You know, now being employed, you really want to know everything. Mdosi wako asikuja apate hakuna kitu unajua. So nilikuwa research sana about the bales. Ikatrend until it was made a main post. And I was posted. I'm employed. Sina belata yangu moja. Nimeanza kufundisha watu nini kuhusu bales wapi? Kilimani. Life is spiritual. Everything that happens, it's spiritual. It's about God. He is talking something. Yes. So I told God I need to know what is happening. I took an off. I went to Katoloni for 3 days. I went to pray about it.
Katoloni Prayer Center.
Yeah. Now when I was praying, that is when our best Mitumba bales come out. I don't know whether I imagine, it is true, what happened, but I saw the name on the wall, best Mitumba bales. I opened the page. So every time people would tag me about Mitumba, I would share my link. So that's how I ended up in Gikomba. And I ended up having a page. Later, Mary got pregnant again, and she got twins.
Yes.
So she came back and told me she is no longer interested.
Siwezi sasa.
Siwezi na sitaki.
Yeah.
And ile mizigo Mary alikuwa ameuziwa ilikaa sana because ni mizigo alikuwa ameoverchargiwa. You know, now both of us we didn't have experience. Na ule mtu alisema atatupeleka ni lazima angekelea pesa yake. So mizigo ikashindikana kuuza. But I thank God because online ningeweza kuuza moja hivyo. So Mary when alisema hataweza, tulikuwa tushatoka huko chini, tumekuja wapi? Mumbai. Mumbai now it's where I am right now. So this is the famous Mumbai. Okay. Mumbai you find bales, and let's say it's the biggest mall in Gikomba. Lilian, Saseni? Yeah. Hi, I'm fine. Mary akasema na akafanya hesabu yake, and she quoted some big figures. I have to return the money. Remember, she's a family friend.
Yeah.
There's nothing else I would have done. I have a page that I need to run. I have already established this page, and I have given location. I sell bills. Now I have become a big name out there.
Yes.
I don't have capital. I've been riding on this stock that Mary employed me. What do I do? So I told her we need to agree on how I'm going to pay this money. But God, Lynn, I keep on telling people, but God. Remember, I had an account
at Stanbic
that I used to use to pay Mary. Every time I sell, I could remove money and go deposit at Equity. One day when I went to deposit money, now I am stressed. Mary wants her money back. Ile stock ya Mary alikuwa ameoverpriceiwa, haingeuzika yote. So one day I was walking in Stanbic and they told me, "Hi, by the way, Jen, account yako ni nzuri. Tukupatie, we can give you 500,000
loan sasa."
Loan. Yeah. I was like, 500? How? Me, that it was the first money that ningesema nimeipewa pesa kubwa. Before I reached in my store, they followed me. They told me, by the way, not 500, 1 million.
Wow.
I saw God. I told them, okay. Remember, we had an agreement with Mary that I'm going to pay her. I had told her 100 to 150 every month. Na sasa namlipa na sina mizigo na sina anything. So the bank gave me the loan. When they gave me the loan, I was able now to stock my own stock.
Yes.
So even when ya Mary bado inaenda na ninamlipa hiyo pesa, nilikuwa na stock yangu bado nachanganya, nina make profit.
Yeah.
I started now paying her 150. Biashara ikaenda chini at some point, akanipeleka mpaka kwa lawyer. I kept on promising and I was able to pay her completely. Nilipomaliza, sasa ndio nikakuwa stable. God blessed me.
Yeah.
apart from the small store that we had with Mary, I opened other 2 stores, big ones.
Wow.
Now when I opened the 2 stores, remember now BMB became a very big name.
Yes.
I got trusted. I could send bales countrywide. So this is the best Mitumba bales. My shop is the first one. This is Edie. Hi Edie. How are you? Uko fiti? Yeah, karibu. Now you find Rajab in his office.
This is Rajab.
He is supposed to give us yani he is supposed to tell us whether we should sit or not. This is Lynn. You know Lynn, eh? Yeah, Lynn should. Karibu Lynn.
Asante sana.
Yeah.
So now this is your office.
This is my first shop. This is the mother shop. This is what most people know. This is the oldest shop that I have owned. Yeah. We call it the mother shop.
Okay.
But we have another one. This is the other small baby.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah. We are lucky. I think this is an ATM that is being made there.
So this is the other one.
Then small baby. We are still working on it, branding and the like. Then I think we will have an office here.
Wow. Sasa niulize swali, Kenya angependa kujua in a day, Jane makes how much in total from this business? Profit.
Profit enough to sustain me and my employees.
Hujatujibu.
Enough to sustain me and my employees.
Hizi nguo, mtu anajuanga nini iko ndani?
Yeah, there is something.
Kuhusu Mitumba.
Let me now give people something small about Mitumba. When you are getting bales, there is something that is called packing list. Packing list inakujanga na description of the items that you want. They may it be kids, men, ladies, may it be household. If you look at this, imeandikwa athletics t-shirts. This bale can come in 2 types. There is grade 1 and there is grade 2. The grade 1 is the one that has the most cleanest items. Then grade 2, you are forced to sort here and there. Unaweza pata tungine tudogo tumeraruka, to stain, hivyo. So how we are able to tell which bale it is that all the bales are labeled. Na hakuna mzigo itaingia kwa store yangu kama sijajua ni nini imeingia. Ni lazima kuna records, kuna stock books, kuna nini, zote ziko recorded vizuri.
Sasa kama hije, pesa ngapi?
This one is about between 25,000 to 32,000.
Hii hapa ni 25,000?
Yes.
And it's likely to give me how much in return?
It is likely to give you, like this one, it has so many pieces. It has about 500 to 600 pieces. It's likely to give you about, when you are good in selling, unaweza pata 80% profit. Depending on how aggressive you are and your target market. People should know their target market. You don't just buy a bale. Now when I opened the 2 stores, tamaa tu nikachukua mzigo, container. My first container was a China container. That container that I took is the one that took me down. Zile vitu nilipata Lynn.
Na ulikuwa umenunua how much?
Container tulikuwa tumenunua na msichana mwingine anaitwa we had bought the 2 of us. Ilikuwa about 5 million, almost 6 million. But we went down completely. Ikakaa unalipia stock, hakuna mtu ananunua, zilikuwa vitu za winter. Kenyans don't know winter or summer.
Na wewe umewaletea hapa majacket.
Nimewaletea majacket manini na ni mbaya. I suffered so much. I have a loan to pay. So now after that is when now Corona happened.
Yes.
By the time Corona was happening, I had already closed 1 shop, nikabaki na moja. Nikabaki na 2. The basement one, yenye ilikuwa kubwa, yenye nilikuwa na offloadia mizigo zangu, na sasa the small one that is a mother shop. I don't know, and I will never be able to explain. The landlady was the basement shop. The moment the Corona happened, I think everyone went to their savings. Huyo landlady, I think hiyo ndio ilikuwa savings yake. Nilikuwa nalipa tu pesa kwa bank. Kumbe kuna mansi kulipa. Zime accumulate for those 3 years, nimekaa hapo ikafika 150,000. Nikaletewa barua. Jane, uko na arrears za 150. This is corona. Mitumba imefungwa.
Na hii ni 150.
Na hii ni 150. Me, I don't know where to go. Lynn, the lady carried everything.
What?
Yes. During corona, alichota kila kitu. All the single bills I had in that store. Alichota everything. Both the basement and the upper shop.
Wow.
I am home. I have a loan with Stanbic. I have no bill.
Na umechotwa.
Na nimechotwa. Through the years, I had established very good relationship with suppliers here near. Ningeingia kwa store yako nione uko na jumpsuit poa, nichukulie customer wangu. Niingie kwa store yako nichukue kama mixed dresses 10, niingie kwa store ya mwingine. So I had very good relationship with suppliers. Now I don't have a shop. And lockdown imeingia. So the only people who could be able to do business are online. Who is me and others. Everyone in Kisumu, where, wapi, they can only call the most trusted online sellers.
Yes.
You see God?
Yeah.
I did not need to have a shop for me to sell. Ilifika pahali, sasa tumefungiwa, sina mizigo, sina nini, but I'm still selling. Ninachukua Nissan mzima, naenda nikiokota mizigo, na pesa ya customers. Naambia customer delivery is within 72 hours. They know it's because there is lockdown. Gari haziendi usiku.
Wow.
But what they don't know is that I'm using their money to buy them bills. I did that for those 3 months. I don't know what to tell you. I restocked my shop.
Wow.
I remember now, Jane, you are here with your 3 kids. You have to feed them. You have to do everything. You have to survive. What do you do? That is now when the thought of B&B homes came. I started B&B home with 0, with nothing, not even a single coin. I went to the owner of the building and I told him, uko na duka? Kaniambia yes. Kanipe calculations za 3 months, sijui nini. Nikamwambia sasa na corona, can I be paying kidogo kidogo? Akaniambia, I'm giving you 14 days to raise the required amount. Actually, when I told my husband about this idea, he did not support me. Nakumbuka aliniambia, ni mjinga mgani anaweza anzisha duka na corona? I never got support from him, not even one. On the 14th day, I got a repossession letter. Because the president had given us 3 months. So 3 months zimepita, sijalipa hata nini, I got a repossession letter. It was 640. I'm supposed to pay 640,000. But they had told me I paid 350 within 14 days. I went. That is where now I knew I'm living alone. We had issues with my husband for a while, but I knew this. I knew when I presented the letter to him. Obviously, being married, the only thing you can do, you were going. These are family loans. I took these loans to help my children, to help him.
And these are our children.
And this is our children. And I took it to support him and to support the children. So, and here is the bank. They want to repossess anything that I have. Actually, nilikuwa na sasa na stress, nasema wana repossess ile capital nimetafuta juzi tu. Zile bills nimejaza kwa hiyo duka ndogo. I went and I gave him the letter. I called my friend and I told her this is what is happening. My friend told me the way that he will react about the letter will tell you so much. Lynn, he did nothing.
Did he have money saved somewhere?
I don't know. I actually did not know anything about his finances. I have never seen his payslip. I have never seen anything. But I used to do everything in that house for as long as I can remember. So when I gave him the letter, he did not say anything. 8 days passed, but now I started saving. Like the way I used to save for the shop. I started saving 15,000, 10,000, 20,000 every day. every sale I make sikuwa na restock mtumba, nilikuwa na save. Ndio sasa by the time 14 days zinafika nikuwe nimeraise pesa. Nilikuwa natuma kwa hii simu ya customer care. I saved. He did not ask me anything, Lynn. He did not even provide food for me. I am stressed. Nilikuwa natoka sina kwa kwenda, sikumefungwa, nazunguka na gari hivyo bypass wapi. Yani I became like a mad woman.
That must have been hard.
It was very hard for me. Kids are home. Watoto wangu hawako wanajua kusubjectiwa kwa hawako home, hawana mama yao hana job.
And the person you expect to support you
did not say anything. So I tried, I saved so much, nikapata 320. Within 14 days, nika deposit. When I deposited, I did a letter asking for restructure. At least they walini pardon. Wakanipea another 3 months.
Yeah.
But now my worry, my pain is that I have gone through so much in this marriage, untold pains. I have not told anyone, but now I have come to an extent that they want to repossess everything that I have. I have presented to you a letter. You have said nothing. Na hata kama hangekuwa na doa angeniambia yenyewe, wacha tuone vile tutafanya. Wacha tuongee na nani na nani.
Exactly.
He did nothing.
Yeah.
So that is now where I started to know that, Jane, you are in this alone.
You're on your own.
You are on your own.
Exactly.
Even if you die tomorrow,
you're on your own.
You are on your own. And even that corona time, he never lost his job. I expected him to put food on the table for me. He never did.
Wow.
He never did. So nikaanza kuwa, unajua love inakufanyanga unakuwa blind.
Kabisa.
Nikaanza kuona 1+1. And then when my job became bad, he started being violent. That is now when I lost my marriage. And it was not a good show. It was very painful for me and for my children because we had to jump over a wall for safety. And that's how I jumped over all my problems, all my depression, everything. I told God, now God, it has happened. I have been a good wife. A wife who loved family, a wife who loved everyone. I supported them so much the way I could. And even him, I supported him. I remember even when we were in police station, because alikuwa amenikata mkono, he was telling the police, my wife has given me a very good life. I don't know how I'm going to survive. You know, I don't know why he was even saying that. But I don't regret anything, because the day that I jumped over the wall and the fence with my kids for safety. Yeah, I have a video. We jumped. The police were outside. He locked us inside. So with the only way we could have been able to survive, we jumped over the fence. That day, when I look back, I keep on telling God, that is the day I got my freedom. To think straight as Jane, to understand what I was called for and who I am. So me, I just moved with the kids and we started a new life and we are not regretting. We thank God for it. And we thank him. I thank God for him. He's the father of my children. And I am okay. After now, I paid the bank and they gave me the 3 months. I started saving again and I started making the shop. Remember, I had paid the deposit? Yes. So I started making the shop. I made the shop, and the reason why I did that shop is because the government waliban Mitumba, but hawakuban cream bales. Yes. Cream bales ni zile zinakujanga zikiwa mpya. So I was looking for a solution where I can have a shop that is purely dealing with cream bales. Yeah. Because now, kusema ukweli, you can tell your kids they won't eat. And having that, being inspired that I know that business, you can invest 10 bob and tomorrow you have 20 bob. I really knew that the little that I have and the little that the bank want me to pay, I can get it, I can add 1+1 and get it from the shop. Actually, I was taking a risk. I didn't know that it will even itasimama. But I prayed so much about it and I really got the go ahead. You know, God gives you signs. I really got the go aheads. So I completed making the shop. It's a very beautiful shop, you will see. Yeah. And I stocked with cream bed sheets, towels and what. We have people who bring them. So And now online, having the platform, I just continued posting.
Yes.
Hata si kuandika mtu for a very long time because sasa with corona I was not going to Gikomba. So I am still doing nachukua picha na post. So I'm still doing the normal delivery of bales and I'm still now in this shop. Yeah. So I made this as my office. I could receive calls, receive orders, write them down and now gather bales from various suppliers and then supply.
Okay.
So I can, in a nutshell, that is my life and the pain that I've gone through. But apart from going through the pain, I have been able to inspire so many women to start the same business. I thank God because I have been able to inspire many. This is the first time I'm telling people my story. They have never known how I ended up in Gikomba. But I'm blessed.
You are blessed.
Yeah.
You know, so many people downplay Gikomba. So many people think that ni Gikomba tu na ni Mitumba. What would you like to say about that?
Kazi ni kazi. Vijana wangu wananiambianga ni mboka, mnasema mboka ni mboka. That is what they tell me. But then that is what they tell me.
Director Docheng tells me mboka ni kazi. That's kazi.
Yeah, mboka ni mboka. That is what my I have a team of about 12 of them. Yeah. They keep on saying, bossy, mboka ni mboka. Yes. Meaning kazi ni kazi. Yeah. And then kazi iwezi kuwa kazi if you have not put your mind, you have not put God, and you have not put all your attention to it. You have to give it all. Because kuna mwenye bado ako Gikomba and not making it. It's not that there is anything special you are doing, but at least there's something that you're trying to do differently. So whatever you do it well.
Do it well.
Yeah.
Do you think at some point your business costed you your marriage?
It did. Because I don't have a life. The reason why I don't have a life is that if you go through my page, it's very active. I sleep late, I wake up late. I do most of my posts after my midnight prayers. That is when I do my posts. So that when customers are waking up in the morning, wazipate.
Yeah.
Now, if my husband was so understanding, he could understand that I don't have time for anything. And then Gikomba, Mitumba is very technical. Not everyone can answer. I have enrolled people and I have empowered them, but not every question they can be able to answer. There are those technically I have to be there. Technically I'm the one to handle them. But I don't think it really costed me my marriages per se, because it is the one that has been sustaining us. Why would it cost my marriage? And also, I have amazing kids. It's because of time I would have shown you a letter that my kids wrote to God. At the end of this year, I was feeling like maybe I made a wrong choice to leave the marriage, and I wanted to find out. So I told my kids to write a letter to God. I started a letter myself. I said, dear God, I positioned them differently. Wana kaka pale, mwingine hapo nakaambia na hakuna kuibia. Just nikaambia, you know, you believe in Holy Spirit here. If it is the will of God for us to stay, you will write something that is similar, all of you. And I had prayed and I told God, I want the answer of who I am and how I'm going to live come from these children. Lynn, all of them wrote the same letter, though they were sitting differently. They asked God for the same thing. They asked God, let mom pay school fees.
Okay.
They asked God, let have peace in this house. None of them. And I have never manipulated my kids that said, God, let our dad come back. Nobody. So all these years that I was paying school fees and doing everything for them, and I never told them, kumbe these kids have a way of learning things. Because none of them even said that God helped dad to buy us food or do what. They said, dear God,
help mom.
And they prayed for BMB, and they prayed for employees.
What do you think are some of the tips that you would give people zenye zimekusaidia ukafika penye umefika?
The fear of God.
Oh.
I have nothing, and just Holy Spirit. He guides you. Sometimes you want to make a post, you don't even know what to say. You just ask him, what should I type? and giving and tithing. I'm a faithful tither. If my church today can be contacted, I think they would say so. I'm a faithful tither and I give so much.
People choose jobs. Unajua umesema kazi ni kazi, but people choose jobs. People don't want to be seen wakifanya kazi kama hizi. Someone is still waiting for a white collar job. Ni white collar ama ni blue collar job?
Hizo za ofisi za tai.
Hizo za tai. And unaona you went to school, you went to college.
I
but
have
you
an
chose,
experience with them as well.
Yes, umechoose kuata kwenda una hawk chai. What would you tell people who choose jobs?
Sichague kazi. Me, I keep on, I even talk to my customers, because kuna customer anakuanga retrenched na anakupigia na kuambia mimi nimetoka tu na 20,000 na ninataka kuanza kazi ya mtumba. Nitaweza? Ama customer anakupigia na kuambia lakini nitakuja na gari yangu Gikomba. So what I tell them is that when the money hits the bank, ainanga title. Ni pesa tu. Kuna ile ilitoka kwa mtu aliunblock cho, kuna ile ilitoka kwa Gikomba kama mimi, kuna ile ilitoka kwa daktari wa ICU, kuna ile ilitoka kwenye imetoka. When it hits the bank, it has no title. And that money, whether ilitoka kwa cho ama ilitoka wapi, if I go to the bank and I borrow money, it is brought together to help me. So it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what kind of a job you do. Because all of us cannot fit in one section. Today I can't be in Tuko to do what you do, Lynn.
And I can't do what you do.
Yeah, and that's why you are doing what you do, so that you can interview someone who is doing something different that you don't do. So we cannot fit all of us in one area. So appreciate the job, and then if you don't start with the small thing that God has given you, you will not have experience for the big thing. Because that experience that I had with Mandazi is the one that has shown me how to treat customers. Every experience that you have in life
Counts. Yeah.
So start somewhere.
Yes. On the contrary, so many people have lost their jobs, especially during this pandemic. So many people are home, they've lost their jobs, they are depressed. Hawajui hata waanze wapi. What would you like to tell them?
Let them reach out. Depression, my experience with depression, you have to reach out to someone who can inspire you. Someone who can speak sense into your life, and someone who can give you hope. Depression is, it's basically when someone feels neglected and rejected and have no one to show them love. Reach out to someone. And if there is anyone who is watching me, and I don't want to get emotional about this, because when I was going through what I was going through, I had no one to talk to. If there is anyone who is watching and who would want to be inspired by me, would want to sit with me and I tell them what I can be able to tell them, my doors are open. I will sit with them, and if they want to start a business, start with what you have.
Beautiful.
So,
no, it's beautiful.
yeah.
And we wish you well.
Yes.
And thank you for even taking your time to sit down with us and inspire Kenyans. And this is why this segment is so necessary, because we want to see people who are inspiring people, handling both their personal lives and even business.
And hiding it.
You know? Exactly. So thank you so much. What would be your parting shot to Kenyans, and is there anything else you would like to add?
What I would want to add, it's to every woman who is out there. I want them to take a pen and a paper and just write, they are enough. Despite of what I have gone through, God has reminded me that I'm enough. Let them write that they are enough. And every time before they sleep, they remind themselves that they are enough. Whether you are in marriage that is not working, well, fight for it. I fought for mine for 12 years. Don't just leave, fight for it. Whether you're in a business that is not doing anything, trust God, you are enough. And always work to make yourself better. And before you change the environment, change yourself. Change who you are, change how you dress, how you talk, how you treat others. And the world will change and it will dance to your tune. About those women and maybe men and women out there who would want to get into Mitumba business, let them get in touch with us. We train for free, and we will advise them according to where they come from, what they can be able to sell.
Okay.
And those who do business, be honest. Your network
Is your network.
is your net worth. Your customers are your wealth. You only know that you're growing if a customer walked out your shop alone and the next day she come back with someone else. If you're in the same business and someone else wants to start the same business, hold their hand. It will always come back to you. Hakuna ati mtamaliziana. I keep on asking people, kwa nini ukienda kwa soko nyanya zimepangwa kutoka hapa mpaka huko mwisho na wewe unataka kwenda kwa hiyo soko tu iko na nyanya nyingi zenye utachagua from? You know, why don't you go to a kiosk that is only selling one nyanya or two nyanyas? You unataka kwenda kwa market yenye imepangwa nyanya. Competition is very healthy. Because when you learn about Jane today, tomorrow you learn about someone else. You go to this person, she will never be Jane. You will always come back.
So stop fearing competition.
Stop fearing competition.
Yeah.
And the moment you stop fearing competition is when your heart opens up to be able to learn. Because what I know is not what someone else knows. Everyone have their strong points.
Yes.
So when you compete also, don't do healthy competition.
Yeah.
In a way that you are able to learn.
Okay. Where can people find you?
We have 3 shops. We have 3 shops. We have one in Gikomba, Mumbai Mall.
Yeah.
Both of them are in Mumbai Mall. One is ground floor 025 and there is one ground floor 100.
Okay.
Then we have a shop where we sell households at Buruburu. We are above Quickmart, first floor, opposite Bata. Apart from that, we have a page that is called Best Mitumba Bales.
Okay.
It is on Facebook. My photos are all over.
Yeah.
And we have an office that is run by me. And a lady, her name is Terry and Rajab. The numbers are 0724 852 215. That is the number you can get me directly. Then we have the customer care, which is run by Rajab. It's 0740 852 215. Then we have the B&B Homes, the household shop.
Yes.
0704 852 215.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Jane. And may God bless you.
May God bless you
May
too.
He open more doors for you, and
Yeah.
may you open multiple businesses,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
may you continue holding other people's hands.
Yeah.
Ndio?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you, Lynn. That was amazing.
That was amazing.
And our cameraman and Tuko.
Eh.
God bless you. And asanteni sana.
Asante. And we've come to the end of the show. We hope you've been inspired.
And we hope you will enjoy.
And may God bless you and your hustle.
Yes, and may God bless you, BNB, and entire BNB fraternity. We love you. Mwah.
You said you can dance?
Yes.